This podcast contains adult language, descriptions of violence, sexual references, and other possibly offensive themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Previously on Back to the Story.
Tyrus, the Titan of conquest, the forebearer, the Moor King, the Titan Lord.
Forgive me, but isn't the only thing you know about your mother and Smo is that she specifically told you not to do?
How much time do we have? How long will it take to get to your mother?
I could speak to the captain and perhaps see if they would be willing.
It's working a little bit.
It's like emotional torture. George, are you back and ready to
Yes,
burn
sorry,
this thing to the ground?
Sorry, I was a little late.
No, you're good. So, jumping back into it, you guys have just arrived at this, what Raj is referred to as the Sublime House of Raj, which looks like a cave. The beasts are kind of tied up, and what you do notice is the entrance to the cave is sort of like in a ditch, so you really couldn't see the entrance until you're like right up on it. It's pretty well hidden. The beasts are tied up nearby as they guide you inside. They begin taking off some of their mask and some of their armor. Two of them that are with Raj take off their mask but leave their armor on. You see the first one is a fire genasi in his mid-40s, dark gray skin, light gray beard with a ponytail and orange eyes. He kind of sits down inside, immediately takes off his boots and like turns it upside down as ash and dust and a few pebbles fall out. Another one is a female fire genasi, light red skin, as she takes off her mask. She's young, maybe 17, 20, something like that. Dark black short wild hair, burning orange eyes as well, who sits down with a hand crossbow on her hip and begins drinking from a flask. Raj, who you've been talking to this whole time, takes off his mask, and you see a dark gray, lean gentleman with dark red hair sort of to his shoulders. This sort of rugged, young 30-something looking individual. Kind of looks like the guy who plays Xerxes when he's not playing Xerxes. Specifically when he's playing that guy in Westworld, which is a specific reference. He has yellow flame eyes as he takes off his mask. Well, have a seat and we'll discuss small. As I was saying on the trip over here, they have the Efreet there, who are the highest class in charge. The Sultan is an Efreet. There are the Genasi as well, who make up the majority of the population, the highest of which are bonded under the masters of the Efreet, but are treated very well. That is what this is, as he points to this bracelet, kind of like a nice-looking manacle on his arm. This one is, of course, fake, so that I can move freely throughout the city, but I might have some extras around here that might aid you on your journey. What are you looking for in Small? Doing business, or...
Can I do just a vague insight check to see how trustworthy in general he seems?
Yeah, sure.
I'd like to do the same.
I'm going to use my inspiration on this as well.
Sure thing.
Okay, not amazing. Not amazing.
I got a 25.
I got a 13, so thank God for Ellery.
Vesper, he's like a charming merchant, kind of rugged guy. Ellery, you also notice that the other two, The younger female and the mid-40s bearded one are pulling things out of what looks like a bag of holding and are kind of tossing them in various piles. You see like platters, vases, some jewelry that they're putting on the table. In one section, they're putting like broken armor on another pile and are just kind of sorting through stuff. This is it's definitely a converted cave. And there's a strange smell about the situation. This is not a house. This is looks more like a hideout. To Ellery.
She would know.
I am going to think at Felix. You willing to relay a few messages?
I'm not a child. What?
Just, can you pass along to Vesper that this place we're in, it seems to be a hideout?
I will repeat the message verbatim without comment.
Business of a sort.
All right, well, if you would like to expand upon that, I might be able to give you some more precise information. Heading to a particular part of town, or
just glance at the others to see. It's a high.
I can tell you're uncomfortable. You can trust me that I have made many of my contacts by being discreet with what I know. If you can offer the same, I promise I will tell none other than my crew. Here in the Sublime House of Raj.
Do I believe him?
Yeah.
Make an insight check.
Hey. 21.
I'm nervous.
Dirty 20 this time.
Not even worth.
He's smiling, and it kind of has like a car salesman vibe, but also you think he's telling the truth.
But can we trust your crew?
I pay them well. They do as I say. We have just met and have no reason to cause any conflict. You are willing to pay, and I am willing to provide a service.
I'm looking for someone in particular.
He kind of leans back in his chair as he's taking his chitin armor off his leg. Looks like there's a bit of a wound there. Go on, please.
Do you want me to look at that while we talk?
Just minor wound, yeah.
I'll go over and just cast a first level cure wounds into it.
You are talented. I appreciate this.
I'm looking for someone in a position that's... I don't know the specifics, but I know it's less than advantageous. Possibly a slave or a prisoner.
You've described 70% of the city. Perhaps I did not explain this well. Most of the Genasi are technically bonded under the masters. It is a good position to have, but technically a slave. Though there is a difference between bonded, which is a good slave position. You essentially have power over everyone else besides the elite, and a kada, which is a very bad position to be in as a slave. There are those that are neither kada nor bonded and are free, though we can only move in certain parts of the city. You said a Genasi?
An air Genasi.
That does narrow things down a bit. Air Genasi, it is still a large city. Air Genasi are rare, sought after for consorts typically. Is that who you might be looking for?
Maybe. Potentially linked to a Fidelis family?
I'm not familiar with the name. I could ask some of my contacts and see if they might know anyone by that name. If I'm reaching out to them, I might require more payment, but if you pass along some details, their name, what they look like, I might be able to Well, we could see what they come up with.
The problem is I've never actually met her before.
You've come a long way to meet a stranger.
She's family.
But don't pull at my heartstrings. I will help you. I will do what I can with this. I cannot profit. I cannot promise that my contact will do it for free, but I will reach out to them.
Her name is Halos. That's all I really know.
Halos. And yeah, did not say from here, or?
I think so.
All right. Probably, well, we'll see what line of work she might be in. I'll reach out to my contacts and see what they say. If you are looking to arrange passage, we weren't going to leave for a few days, but I could arrange it early. It will cost, but they are willing.
How much would it cost, and how much time would it save us versus traveling around the coast?
Well, it's about 16 hours. Full day, one way. Now, they would have to come here first, so might be 2 days. If you rush it, there's always an extra fee, but if you're in a hurry, I'm sure they would offer the service.
And you said you could get us bracers so that we go unimpeded in the city?
I could. You would have to... He put on like a grin. You would have to be able to carry them. How do I say this? You would have to make them believe that you are bonded, which would entirely be on yourself and might be tricky for some of your half-elven friends here, but not entirely impossible.
Is there another way we can... I'm not much of an actor.
I can move things throughout the city if you don't mind laying in a crate for a while.
Well, we do have a few people at our disposal that can weave together some words and stories.
It's true.
Of course, we're the most noticeable, but
Well,
given some...
who wouldn't, in a place of power, want something so rare as a couple of half-elves?
That might not work out to your advantage.
Probably not.
They might want you for a prolonged period of time.
Of course.
Yeah. At least for a little bit of time, I can make myself look different. That's...
Illusions work there?
On some, yes. I would recommend they back up in case, but should be okay for some. If it sounds like you're capable, but if you would like me to order the ship, I can reach out. It will likely be 50 a head. You might charge extra if you want it rushed.
Well, we can at least afford the base price. I don't know. Do you want it rush?
Yes, but my thought is, if we're really... I mean, we're all being discreet here. If we all, there's only one head to actually take on the ship, and the rest of us are tucked away, that lowers the price significantly.
True. And
it will also be 50 per crate, if that's what you're thinking.
It's not.
No. Yeah, that could work. And if magical illusions do fail us, I do have a disguise kit on me. I do have some resources at my disposal.
It will take some time for the ship to get here. If you would like me to alter it, and it seems like you're in some bit of hurry, it would be best if I informed them sooner rather than later. Speak up, I could not quite hear you.
I think we are in a hurry, yes.
I'll order the ship. If you want him to hurry, it will be double. I would expect, I'll talk to them, but I would expect 500. Base, if you want them to sail directly here, quickly. You can try to talk him down, but to leave immediately, come here, and immediately sail back, it would be something like that. But he could get you there in a day and a half. He is reliable. and the fast. 36 hours round trip. Once it gets here, 16. And you'll be on the docks as small.
I think we
That's a
can
good
manage
idea.
that.
So, regular rate or fast?
Fast.
Yeah, I have a good relationship with this individual. Would you mind just letting me see? You will give it directly to him, of course, but I would want to make sure I have eyes on the amount.
Do you think he would want coin, or would he be willing to take trade?
You will, of course, seek out trade. But
Sorry,
so long
I
as you,
couldn't quite catch
he
that.
will, of course, take trade. Just want to make sure you are good for it, so to speak.
So I will. What do I actually have on me?
You will have to negotiate the trade with him directly, but I just want to make sure you have the money before I call a dear friend to rush. Yeah. You understand?
So I will take out, if I'm doing this conversion right, 50 platinum.
Perfect. I will go call the ship, and they will head this way. I'm going to wash up. It has been a while. We have a canister over in that corner, and he points off down a cave hall. This cave looks semi-natural, but also semi-carved. And the one back here as well. Feel free to use yourself.
Well, thank you.
Of course. I will be back here if you need me, or if you desire to wash up yourself. He smiles and walks down one of the halls.
I kind of turn to the others and, in a very low voice, we should be careful here.
Definitely.
Felix, Ball in the sphere. You guys doing anything?
Well, it's been at least an hour or two, right?
Yeah, it's been probably 4 hours.
Okay, so I'll probably have finished his shirt. Ball, did you have anything?
Not in particular. I think just the concern would be whether or not it's a bad thing if a whole bunch of extra people start coming out of the sphere, numbers-wise.
Meh.
I'm going to pass along what he has told us to Felix.
Alright, I'll suggest to Ball we just stay inside for now. Let's not even make it a big deal. And then as they're out negotiating, Felix will get kind of fidgety and then turn to Ball. Alright, well, I'm stuck here. The best thing I can do is look for answers. So, Ball, you want to give me a hand with something?
Sure. What can I do?
I need you to tie me up.
What?
I have to do a thing, and sometimes it can make me act a little funny afterwards, and it's fine, and I can get the information that I need from Aeon, but just in case, it's better if I have restraints so I can take a minute and calm.
Okay. Is it... How do you want me to tie you up?
He'll just sit in whatever chair and pull out his rope and, just make sure my arms are down, keep me facing you, and then he will tell him some phrase that he will have memorized as something, encoded for when he does this, and tell that to Ball. Hopefully I'll remember that, and it will make me want to trust you, but who knows? Sometimes I get a little... One time I just screamed for 10 minutes.
And is there something I should look for to know that I should get help?
For right now, just as long as I am not hurting you or them, don't get the others, because I think they need to be left alone right now.
Okay.
And I will summon Aeon like a Cerebro helmet, and I'm going to look for anything I know about Walker. Just what his people are, the red, weird light that he used, anything I got. I'm like vague search terming the vast expanse of Google.
Okay. I think we said investigation check, is that right? Is that what you normally do? It's been a little while.
Am I allowed to guidance myself before I go in? Is that something I can do?
I'll say yes, since you've done it before. You're like learning the ways.
Great. So I will tap my glove on my thigh and cast guidance and do my investigation. So that is a 22.
Okay. So you open yourself up to Aeon, and learning from previous incidents, you kind of let the information just wash over you and try not to comprehend it at first. It's vast and you can't find the end. And like last time, you sort of conjure up this imagery to help you to metaphorically shift through all this. You can't do it with thought alone. And you find yourself in this place of floating rocks and crystals, threads of energy going in all directions, this large pink spinal cord pulsing above you. And you search for Walker, moving from rock to rock, shifting, searching for this individual. It takes you some time, and time always feels funny here. But after an indeterminate search, you begin to see sounds. First, that sharp breath. Moving towards it, you catch to a rock. There's some grass on it. Part of it has the beginnings of a field before the field and fence around it just kind of fade off into nothing. There's a small farmhouse, maybe 2 bedrooms. You see a woman in her maybe mid-30s rocking. She's knitting something. You see 2 kids playing around the field. And you see Mr. Walker inside, writing at a desk. He's in his suit, as he always is, his briefcase. Beside him, very simple, quaint farmhouse. They don't seem to notice you as you move around. What else are you looking for? Or what do you do, rather?
I want to get see if I can read anything that he's writing, or look around for proper, I don't know, image. Try and get a good look at his face, because if I remember, he was like weird to look at.
Looks similar to what you saw before, but more of normal tired. Last time you saw him, he had these very dark circles under his eyes, like he hadn't slept in months. That isn't what's here now. You see him writing, looks like ledgers. Writing. The words are in a language you don't understand, but as this just a metaphorical for all the information that's around, it begins to clarify. The words, they say, cease, shift, cut, excise, shift, cease, conceal. Make an Arcana check, actually, for me.
Okay. Even better, 25.
What looks like words written in common, you begin to see through it. He's writing glyphs of the illusion school. There's illusion-based concealment magic going on. Walker, in some way or form, is trying to conceal information about him. Even with what Aeon knows. You can get past it, but it's going to require some effort.
I've got to try. I don't know how to learn otherwise.
What do you want to try? Dispelling it? Trying to read his thoughts?
Yeah, if I can form that, I have one spell slot left to try and detect thoughts. So, if I have a sense if in this metaphorical realm that it would work, I'm going to go for it.
Okay. Give me a spell attack roll, basically.
All right.
Spell check.
13?
You focus on this mind of Mr. Walker sitting here writing illusions, trying to hide his identity, and you begin to try to press in. The vision and everything shifts. It's just you and him. Void. No rock, no house, no field. Just you and him in a void of black. The table's still there. The paper and the quill. And he's writing. And he stops. And he puts the quill down. And he looks up at you. This is quite a surprise. I was not expecting to see you here under these conditions. What is it that you are looking for?
Answers? Help? You said don't do what they want, don't trust the prophecies, but which ones? And who? What are you?
As he looks up at you, the bags under his eyes begin to slowly return, darken. I was once like you. Some time ago. I followed the path that fate dragged me down. I followed her to the ends of this world and into the next. But she seeks more than the breaking of the mantle and the gate. She wishes to rejoin herself with Backstar. I am a harbinger. We are, in some ways, bodies, born bound to the harbingers, the druids who stood against the gods so long ago. The paradox of their existence morphs, corrupts us. Some go mad during the transformation. Few are able to cling to their humanity. I have some left. The choices that your acquaintances make will determine whether they too are corrupted or they're backed upon the fates of the world.
So it's true. They're like you.
They are as I was. They are not harbingers. Not yet.
So we have to find a way to break the pattern?
Each time she gets closer to our ultimate goal. When our harbinger is reborn bound to a body, they are no doubt capable of extraordinary things, but not all survive long enough for the memory of that druid, the harbinger, to take control. Fewer do each time. Fewer make it to the last redoubt. There are the fewest protectors, skillful harbingers that there. that there have ever been. She is close now. If she succeeds, the pattern will be broken, and so will everything else.
And the ones I travel with, are they silver harbingers? Protectors?
It is hard to say. Some, yes. Others, maybe not.
Is there any way I can prepare them?
Harbingers cannot be killed. They are paradoxes. They cannot be killed because they are not alive, nor are they dead. You can. Their non-existence, their paradoxical existence, is tied with that existence of the divine gate, what created them. A permanent solution would be to destroy the gate, and thus the harbingers. A less permanent solution would be to imprison the harbingers, without ridding them so that they cannot be reborn. The most temporary solution is to separate the bind between the harbinger and the body, so that they must take time to be reborn again. This is the method that many have taken in the past, each time fewer silver harbingers making it into fruition. And Narasine, she is the oldest of the Crimson Harbingers, the only one that is yet to be reborn.
So, our options are to aid in the destruction of the Divine Gate and hope that doesn't end the world, thus killing themselves, imprison themselves, or at least some of them, beyond time, or simply kick the football down the line until I find the next group of harbingers.
That is a astute summary of the options, yes. I will add that Narasine seeks to bring about the annulus, and in order to do so, the gate must be brought down. She will seek its destruction and has sought it for centuries. And in the end, with the last arcane lock in place, that is where she will attempt to use what's left of her and Blackstar to collapse everything. It is a fine line. That is when she will be most vulnerable. But if your harbingers fail, everything will cease to exist.
Oh, fuck. Well, I thank you for your candor. If you had this knowledge that you have now, right before you turned, what would you do?
It is very difficult to ascertain whether you are crimson or silver, and you can give in to it and resist for a time. When someone gives in or fails resisting and loses control to the harbinger, it affects those around them, makes it harder to resist. Few can. I am limited in what advice I can give you, for I am just a rationalization of the memories of your Aeon, and not a sentient entity myself.
If I could protect the mind of one of them from interactions like this, do you think that could help prevent this druid from taking control of their mind?
Precautions might aid you, yes. Your threat will come from her. She has been fully harbinger since her creation, and has a powerful aura around her. part of how I have remained, or kept some sanity, is by sealing off part of my mind from the Harbinger which controls me. I have brief pulses of control.
Well, I'm glad that Aeon found some part of your mind when you had control. I will do what I can.
I pray it is enough. And as he's saying that, you begin to sense something. Feel it like a tingle up your spine. You feel presences moving in. You see forms of void forming around you two.
I think I should go.
I am sorry. And you feel a hand clasp your arm. Not Mr. Walker's, but someone behind you. You see a elven woman, silver hair, pretty. She stands in a dress, chin up, regal almost. He grabs your arm. I would like you to say, I have something to show you.
Aeon, get me out of here.
And then make your get me out of here save.
Alright, I'm going to use my advantage.
Good move.
That's a 6.
You know what to roll as the elven woman begins to shift. Her eyes turn crimson. Her dress fades away, her flesh turning to void. You see stars of crimson and scars, as if the sky has been torn open, bleeding that crimson energy. You see 2 jagged horns that raise above her head and a single crimson star that burns between them. But it's not just those horns. There's other smaller jagged horns on her head forming a crown. Her shoulder has jagged spikes of this void form. She grows in height from maybe 5'10" to maybe 6'8", and she clasps onto you with clawed hands of crimson. She holds her left hand out to her side. First in a symbol you recognize, and then a blade forms, and she plunges it into your chest.
Ow.
Did you make your roll?
Yes. I wasn't sure if that was
oh, sorry, I didn't look over there.
Medium bad or the bad bad. I forget what the rankings were.
I
think it's the bad because
I think it's bad as well.
All right. I actually rolled the same thing as last time, so I don't know if you want me to roll again.
Yeah, why don't you roll again?
All right, that's different. Oh, okay. This is going to be interesting.
And just when you get a second, let me know what that is.
Yeah, I'm whispering it.
Okay.
Oh, it's there. I'll get it to you.
Okay. And as she plunges it in, you feel a sharp pain, less in your body, but in your mind, like a ice pick, migraine, aura forming, right behind your eyes. It's sharp. As Ball, you see Felix, who's been tied up for a few minutes, and he begins to shake. He kind of falls over whatever you tied him to, the chair, and begins to shake on the ground. You see blood is coughing out of his mouth, his ears bleeding.
I think Ball is going to say Felix's safe word and kind of repeat that, and in between saying it, he's going to say, Felix, safe word, Felix.
After maybe a minute of shaking, he stops and is unconscious.
Still breathing? Just unconscious?
Yeah, still breathing, but unconscious. What do you do, Ball?
Do we have some kind of I'm sure we have some way to, like, some sleeping quarters or something inside this sphere, right? So I think Ball will, bring Felix over to, like, a bed and just kind of get him set up so he can have some rest.
Okay. And so, just to get a timeline on what's going on, the ship has been ordered by Raj, express delivery, so to speak, and they'll be here in basically 16 hours. If there's anything you guys want to do, just kind of let me know. Otherwise, we'll kind of fast forward through that. And I'll use that kind of to figure out when Felix wakes up, basically. So if there's nothing, we'll kind of like continue through the timeline.
Give me a second to think and see if I have.
Okay. So as you're thinking of Felix, Ball Felix is out for like an hour before he wakes up.
I think that's all right. I don't think Ball's necessarily concerned. Well, he's concerned, but not running to get anybody.
Okay.
Just stays with him. Or I'm sure Ball might even, like, even if it's frivolous, cast detect poison and disease on Felix and just kind of does his rudimentary nurse attempts.
Okay. No poison or disease. As Felix eventually comes to, just let me know what you are doing or want to do.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
I'm just wondering, like, if we wander around, does anyone stop us from looking around in this cave or going back outside?
Not really. Outside is getting hotter. Even with the mantle, it is uncomfortable to be out there. They set up some like thick curtains to kind of keep some of the light out. It is almost blinding how bright it is outside now. But they don't for the most part. You can see there's mainly just this large area where there's some tables for sorting stuff. There's looks like a pit for cooking food. There's another hallway where there's looks like a bedroom carved out, and then a lab where there's someone looks like on a alchemy lab bench, and then there's another bedroom where Raj has changed into just like pants and some light shoes. There's also an area where a quartermaster, so you see two other individuals in addition to the regular crew. Mostly no.
So I think I spend a little bit of time poking around, potentially making a nuisance of myself, seeing what this place is like, before I go back to wherever Vesper and Amsen are hanging out. So I guess we should rest here while we wait for the ship, but I still think we should take shifts.
I agree. Just in case.
Absolutely. Just in case.
Vesper, do you want to try seeking out those people that we met from that ship?
Maybe. I don't know if we have to. They're here on the Salt Flats, and that's not where we're staying.
It's true.
And I don't have any spells right now, so I have to sleep.
Do you remember if they had those bracers?
Do I remember if they had those bracers? I don't think I wrote it down.
Roll an intelligence check with disadvantage.
Yeah, hang on, let me just double check.
It's a long time ago.
Let me just check and see if I had it written. Mm-hmm. Female auburn hair, light robes, and yeah, it didn't write it down. They said they had jewelry and fine made clothing, but okay, just straight intelligence.
Yeah, at disadvantage.
Yeah, 13.
You remember they had jewelry like necklaces, rings, bangles, and bracelets? You're trying to remember, maybe, and maybe you just thought it was jewelry. Then you're not sure, possibly.
I shrugged. They had a lot of jewelry on. It may have been part of it.
Well, we should be careful whatever we do, careful about who we trust, especially if people like us are valuable.
Well, I'm sure we have the resources to make us look somewhat inconspicuous for a short amount of time anyways.
Maybe we can get Felix to dress us up a bit, cover us up a bit. We can use that disguise kit, and then... Oh, the medallion. I could put some disguise spells into that.
Though they did say it might be seen through by some people, right?
Yes, but if we have a combination of Amsen's disguise, like the physical disguise, and the illusion, that might be enough to make it so fewer people take notice of us.
At least for the two of you, yeah.
We don't want people to pay too much attention to you either.
Right, but I'll blend in better.
And on that, while the young girl does have like reddish, light red skin, Raj does have like dark gray. And Vesper's kind of blue-gray is different, but not extraordinarily different.
Does their hair... So when Vesper's hair is out of a braid, which is why she usually keeps it this way, it moves the way Urgenasi's do, where it's like in a breeze. Does their hair move at all?
Theirs doesn't. It's a bit wild, but it doesn't move, and it's not on fire or anything. At least these aren't.
You could probably sell yourself off as a fire genasi. At least,
maybe.
That way you're not an oddity around here.
Do you think this would help or hinder as I let smoke kind of curl off of me?
Gosh, I don't know.
Well, I'm not sure. Maybe that's a question for Raj.
Probably.
Who wants to take first watch? Sorry.
Oh, what about Felix and Ball? What was it that he said about if they would be noticeable?
Ball should be fine. He said it sounded like there might be fire giants in the city. So Ball and Vlad would be fairly innocuous. Felix looks like he's an elf, full elf. He might be noticeable, and I don't think he wants to be involved.
True.
At the very least, he might look like some sort of, super intelligent, powerful, interplanar traveler or something like that,
Which he kind of is. As much as I hate to admit it.
I'll figure it out. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Is Raj near? Can I catch his attention before we settle down?
He went into another room.
Okay. Is there any of the company nearby?
There's the younger woman and the older. The older is sitting towards the mouth of the cave watching, it seems. The woman is drinking and eating.
I will walk over to her. I have a quick question. I'm gonna...
Hey.
Go ahead. Yeah. I'm gonna try and play up my fiery heritage. Would this help me, or is it unusual?
The smoke? Yeah, that's probably good. If you do fire, it'd be better, but it should be okay.
Okay.
Smoke's kind of a melting pot. You should be fine. Elves are a little weird here. Don't see them very often, but as long as you're just sticking to certain parts of the city, you should be fine.
Well, I'm hoping, we're trying to find this genasi we were talking about. I don't know where that might take us.
I'd have them cover up a little bit if I were them. Should be alright, though, for the most part. It's a big city. Coming from somebody who's from a smaller town, it can be a little overwhelming. So just eyes forward and don't talk to strangers.
Sound advice.
Got me this far.
Well, thanks.
You got it.
I'll go back to the others. Okay. Well, that should help.
Well, maybe I should go ahead and... I don't have much energy left, but I could put a little bit into that medallion so that if you do need to disguise yourself, you can.
That might be a good idea, thanks.
So what I have available is I can put in 2 instances of disguise self tonight.
Is there anything that I'm capable of doing that you would like, just as a safety feature or something?
That's a really good question out of character. What all do you have right now?
Everything
There's
that
3
I
levels
always have.
left. Oh no, there's 3 levels left.
Fairy Fire, Hideous Laughter, Healing Word, Grease, Mage Armor, Shield, Featherfall, Expeditious Retreat, Invisibility, Suggestion, Silence, Blindness, Deafness, Bestow Curse, Counterspell, Beacon of Hope.
I think either Suggestion or Invisibility would be good. Invisibility might be better.
I'll give you Invisibility as a panic button spell.
Okay.
Just so that you can, literally go invisible and just leave.
Perfect.
And also as a safety feature, I'll give you... Do you want another level 1 spell, or do you want to save that for something else, just in case?
I might put something in it myself as a panic feature, so I might put one of my spells in it.
Okay.
And then it opens up another spell.
If not, I was gonna give you Shield.
I have Shield as one of my spells, so.
You do?
I have Shield of Faith, sorry.
Yeah.
Might be a good idea. I'm thinking either Shield or Guiding Bolt in case something goes askew.
Whatever you want.
I'll take Shield just in case.
Okay.
That diversifies so I can do a little bit more.
Alright. Any others, Ball, Felix, before we kind of move? What else you got?
Oh, I guess if Felix is waking up, we can just finish that off with Ball.
Yeah, I think, so as Felix wakes up, Ball will say, good to see you again. Are you okay?
Yeah, sure.
You were bleeding from the mouth. Is that normal?
Huh. Not really. That's kind of weird.
Was it worth it? Whatever you've done?
Yeah.
Do you want me to stop asking you questions?
I don't really care. I'll just kind of go back and stretch out and lay back down.
I think Ball just continues to kind of hang out. Maybe, while Ball's kind of sitting at the foot of the bed, he's just, he's flipping that medallion. I forgot what you called it. Obviously I can't find it, now that I want it. Basically that medallion, the one that Vlad had given him, kind of saying that, the kin medallion, something to that effect. And he's just flipping that in his, kind of playing with it in his fingers while he sits at the foot of the bed, giving Felix company.
Okay. Anything else before you guys kind of take your watches and rest and we begin the next day and the ship arrives? Okay. Ball and Felix, are you guys staying in there? Do you guys come out at any point?
Felix just chills.
I assume there might be some communication where Ball is kind of Ball will ask. So, to clarify, we can't talk to other people, we can just talk through Felix to other people, right? So Felix would still have to kind of relay it. So maybe Ball will just kind of, to Felix, say, well, if they don't need us, I suppose this is as good a place as any to get some rest.
Yeah. It's fine.
And it's a black obsidian kinstone that Ball is playing with in his finger.
Alright, so as you guys rest in the sphere and out. On the outside, they do share with you some like really spicy curry-based dishes and some wines as well, like some very pungent red wines. You guys take your rest and your watches and begin the new day. You guys have leveled up. So either roll your hit points in the chat with an extra +1, or you can take the average without the extra +1 as you guys are preparing for the ship to arrive. Oof, buddy. Double oof. Oh, buddy. Nice. Some very bad rolls with Felix and Ball. Oh. And so in the morning, Raj will approach you guys who are out of the sphere, whoever that may be. So the ship should be here shortly, and they will take you back to the docks, to the bay. I reached out to my friend, and they are willing to look around. Seems they have some ideas of where a person might be. They will no doubt require funds from you.
Naturally.
Of course. If you wish for me to set up a meeting, I would be glad to offer that service.
I kind of look to Vesper.
Vesper's praying and picking spells right now, so I only heard about half of that. What's going on?
The ship will be here soon. If you would like me to reach out to my friend, my contact, who might have an idea of where your friend is, I could offer that service.
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Yes, and as for payment for such a service, I could take more coin, of course, as always, but maybe a more interesting arrangement could be arrived at.
What do you have in mind?
Well, I do not like to mix business with pleasure with my crew, and it will be some time before I arrive in the city, so perhaps 1 hour of your time.
Who is he looking at when he says this?
Eyes going between Vesper and Ellery. Or maybe perhaps 30 minutes if both are interested.
Vesper makes a slightly strangled noise. And just looks at Amsen like, what the fuck?
Just, yeah, come on.
I'm definitely not interested, sorry.
Question, how tall is he?
Oh my god.
He's about 6 foot.
Alright, just going for it. Thanks, Ellery.
You know what? Ellery looks him up and down, and I wouldn't mind a little bit of what, Vesper? What?
No, it's fun.
Oh, do not be so ashamed. It was just
I
fun.
wouldn't mind getting to know you a little bit better.
Lovely. I will reach out to my contact, and the ship will be on its way.
Stay up here with my boyfriend.
And he takes Ellery by the hand and goes back to their room, to his room, which is more just a cave place. Lights a cigarette. There's some wine. There's some good times to be had. And we cut to the eclipse occurs. The red sun. The light outside of the cave goes from blinding white to that sort of red light, as if being inside a submarine, infrared October style. And everyone begins to exit the cave, walks down to the shoreline a bit, where there is a short stone dock. Wait for a little while and begin to see something moving in the distance. A ship, and it's coming closer. It is long and open-faced, fairly flat ship. There's no mast to be seen. As it gets closer, you can see there is a brass outer hull that carves through this burning hot oil of a sea, and is pulled by 4 large creatures. These burning seahorse-like creatures that pull this large boat up to the dock. There's a few crew members aboard that kind of tie it off as another fire genasi, maybe in his mid-50s, hops off, stocky, bushy red beard, shaved head, comes out to meet Raj. They shake hands, bow, and chat for a minute before turning to the rest of you.
All right, well, seems I'll be taking you across the sea to small. 500 for the rust job. Hop on and we'll be on our way.
And, hold on, I was going to look at this earlier and I forgot to. He said 500.
Aye, 500.
Then I will just hand over 500 gold worth of platinum in that case.
Pleasure doing business with you. Hop aboard, we'll be there in about 16 hours.
Shakes Raj's hand. Raj bids his farewells with a deep bow, and the ship is untied and begins sailing across the sea. The sea is like golden oil, the top layer of which is on fire. You can tell the brass that's wrapping the hull is hot from being in it for so long, but protects the ship as these 4 large seahorse-type creatures begin swimming, pulling the ship away from the shore and out to sea. You guys have 16 hours of travel if you want to do anything. Otherwise, we'll kind of jump ahead.
Just think into Felix and check in with him and Ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everything's fine.
And is everything fine with us? Sorry.
I don't really care.
Okay, fine. Not to him, just out loud, just as we'll mumble along the line.
I think at some point while we are sailing, I will kind of pull Amsen aside out of earshot of Vesper.
Yes.
Shit. I don't know how to... Look, there's kind of a lot happening right now.
Yeah.
And I'm trying really hard to, I don't know, to be a good friend, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To Ball and to Vesper. And I don't really... I'm trying to be as supportive as I can, so there's things that I can't really say to them, shouldn't really say to them.
Like what?
But I kind of feel like I'm going to explode if I don't say some of it to somebody.
Okay, well then tell me, and you know, then at least they don't know.
Because I'm really happy that we're going after Vesper's mom, that we're going to try and get her back for Vesper. And I'm happy, I mean, things haven't gone exactly the best they possibly could have gone with Ball, but he found who his family is, right?
Yeah.
He found them after not all that much searching, not as much as I thought it would take. And I'm super fucking jealous right now. And I can't say that to them. And I'm really lucky. You know, I have Mogther and Shurza. It's not like I don't have family. And I have all of you. But it's like, Ball starts looking for where he comes from and he finds it almost immediately. And in the same moment, practically, Vesper finds where her mother is, pinpointed enough, in a place where we can go and find her and do something about whatever trouble it is that she's in. And
Ellery, everybody's life goes differently, and everybody ends up getting different things at different times. Believe you me, we will search for your mother. We will. And I know for a fact that if it were you in this situation, we happen to be on the same continent as your mother, and we happen to find out that the city that she's in is not that far away either, that we would choose to do the same thing for you. It would be no different. Yes, just right now, things are working out in a different way. We happen to be here. Call it coincidence or fate, but whatever you want to call it, we're here. It happens to work out that way.
Yeah, I know that, I know that you would help me if I needed you to, and I'm just, I feel like I'm gonna explode.
That's fair. I feel like I'm going to melt if we have to stay here any longer. So, the feeling is similar and understandable. Oh boy. I don't know, everything happens at different times. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
And when your time comes, it'll come, and trust me, there are things that you've been able to do that we wish we could. Things that you don't seem to have an issue with that we do occasionally. We all have our things.
Well, I mean, I know my magic does some weird shit.
Well, true. Your magic is rather unique. And sometimes beneficial, sometimes not. Most of the time it actually ends up working out, though. That's the weird thing, is that it usually ends up working out for us. I don't know. I don't think that's a question that I'm really the person to answer. But I don't know. Just trust me on this. We're all growing in different ways and at different times. And our lives are progressing in different ways at different times, and sure, we're all going in the same direction one way or another. Somehow. It's just nothing seems to happen at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I expect it to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I want some fucking answers too.
They'll come in due time. I promise you that. I'm not the person that's going to end up bringing them about, I'm sure. I do not have that power. But I don't know. Something's telling me that it'll happen. I'm just hopeful that way.
Yeah. By the way, Amsen, I don't think I said this.
Amsen looks just a little bit scared.
I don't think I said this when your little secret with Vesper came out. But, if it were anyone but her, I would say she wasn't good enough for you.
Amsen will exhale a little bit more than normal, indicating a chuckle. Just kind of nod a little bit. Well, thank you, Ellery.
And if it was anyone but you, I'd say you weren't good enough for her. But it's you and it's her. I kind of hook my arm around his and lean my head on his shoulder.
I'm glad we have your approval, Ellery. That'd be awfully awkward if we didn't.
Yeah, it would be. You two are good together, though.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you think so.
Love you, Amsen.
Love you too, Avery. And he'll, like, gently pat her head.
If I could, I think, if we're kind of just spending a good chunk of this day just kind of hanging out inside the sphere, eventually Ball will, kind of ask Felix, like a little bit of just curiosity, so what did you do while you were tied up?
Oh, yeah, that. I went looking for answers. I guess I got them. They kind of suck, though, so. Oh well.
What answers did you find?
About who the Harbingers are and that the world's probably gonna end because you all suck.
That sounds important. Who are the Harbingers? Why do we suck?
I mean, you suck because you do stupid things like this all the time. That's why. You also kind of suck because you're all the Harbingers. But, it doesn't really matter what we do, so I kind of just want this whole thing to be over with so I can go home.
And how do you want it to end?
Don't much care anymore.
That doesn't sound like you.
Does it? I mean, I'm wonderful, and it sounds like a wonderful idea.
And just yesterday you were burning with passion. Now you don't care. Why don't you care?
Maybe I've accepted that it's hopeless. I don't know. Do you want to, play a game? Do they have games here? Maybe cards? Feels like we're going to be stuck in this orb for a while.
For the record, Ellery probably would have left her set of playing cards in the sphere.
Conveniently, Go Fish appears. I don't know, maybe what happens is, Ball will oblige and start a card game, and while they're playing the card game, Ball might kind of probe a little bit more, just kind of in between the game, and say, we have all felt like that, where it feels hopeless. You don't just sit back and let everything happen.
Do you have any force?
Ball begrudgingly gives his 4 over.
I wanted to talk to Ball, so whenever point you guys feel I should come into the sphere, just cue me in.
Yeah, how about just, we'll continue to talk, and at some point you can come in and interject. I think I'll say one more thing, just, it's not like you to give up, and I don't necessarily know what it is you're fighting for, but I'm not okay with you giving up. So, you can sit there and mull about it, but after today I expect that you will know what you need to do, and we will help you do it.
Yeah, I just need a 5.
It's my turn. Do you have a 5?
Well, that's cheating, but fine.
And that's when Vesper will come in.
Perfect.
She'll kind of side-eye Felix a little bit. Are you two in the middle of something, or can I interject?
Go ahead.
Follows. I want to talk to you a bit, if that's okay.
Sure. I was just about to win.
I can wait till you're finished.
No, he can win. It's fine.
Okay, now it kind of gives Felix like a weird look, because I imagined he was like sulking like a brat, and now I'm like, right, okay. And I guess I'll lead Ball a little ways away. Okay, has Felix been nasty to you too, or?
I think he's a little frustrated. He did one of those things he does.
He does a lot of things.
The one where he goes somewhere and asks questions.
Wait, what?
I don't understand it.
Oh, shit. He did that before we left Embershore too.
Anyway, this will be... I suppose this will elicit more of a reaction out of you than it did from me. But he did say we are some sort of harbingers. Sorry, did Felix say that some of us are, or just that did he just say we are?
I believe it was y'all suck and y'all are harbingers.
Okay.
He has moved on to playing solitaire.
All right. So then, Ball doesn't clarify that and just says that it says that we're harbingers.
Ball, that's huge. That's holy shit. Are we the bad ones or the good ones?
I didn't think to ask.
Okay, I'm going to talk to Felix in a minute. I'm going to expedite our little talk, and it's going to be a lot less emotional than I'd hoped it would be. I'm sorry. I trust you. I love you. I'm sorry I didn't tell you about my mom until now. I didn't want you to feel jealous because I know you didn't know your family when I found out about her, so I didn't want to, make things weird. And I'm sorry it's all coming out right now. Like this.
You see Ball's just kind of, mouth open and just kind of oh, I didn't have any problem.
Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that. I didn't tell Ellery for a long time either.
Sometimes we have secrets, and sometimes we just don't know. And that's okay.
Okay, good, great. I'm gonna talk to Felix now, because this is insane.
I guess I'll come listen.
Yeah, in fact, Felix, darling.
Yeah, what's up, Vesper?
Yeah, because something's wrong. Will you please tell Ellery and Amsen to come here?
Yeah, in a minute. I'm almost
No,
done.
will you tell them right now, please?
If it'll make you stop talking, fine.
Yes.
Amsen, Ellery, Vesper needs you for something.
I will take Ball's empty seat now while I wait for them to show up.
I feel like one of us should... I'll look over at Ellery. Did you get that?
Yes.
I feel like one of us should be looking over this sphere just in case.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Don't want it to go rolling off the deck into a sea of fire and
Right.
burn us all when we try to come out.
Do you want to go inside or do you want me to? What do you think?
I'll go see what's up, and then,
If you need me, you'll come out and let me know.
yeah.
Alright, that sounds good. I can keep watch for a bit.
So I will go into the sphere.
While they do that, I'm now concerned because Felix didn't roll his eyes at me when I called him a pet name. So I'm going to just start stealing his cards while he's trying to play and see if it elicits a reaction.
Must you?
I mean, does it bother you?
I mean, a little, I guess. I can do something else if you want the cards.
Felix, you did a deep dive into Aeon.
Okay, yeah, and?
Oh, boy. Well, you told me and Amsen when you did it the first time that things could go wrong when you come back.
Yeah.
I'm going to lean across the table and flick him in the forehead and see what he does.
He will slap at your hand. Okay, don't.
Yeah, something's wrong. And I'm assuming Ellery comes in at this point. Ellery, great. Felix is broken and we're harbingers. So I need to talk to kind of everybody.
I think Ellery just kind of stares at Vesper for a moment,
I'm
Like
on the verge
she's
of a nervous
processing?
breakdown. So I'm trying to just kind of not have a nervous breakdown.
You should
Well.
relax.
I look at Felix when he says that. What happened?
He went into Aeon to look for answers about something. All I know is that we're Harbingers. That's all Ball told me about what he told him.
Well, number one, fuck. I mean, we knew that was a possibility, but are you sure? Is he sure? Felix, are you sure?
I guess.
Felix, I'm gonna need an affirmative. Or a hard negative.
Maybe?
Can I?
What is wrong with him?
It's some sort of madness. I can try something to see if I can fix this. It says there's a material of diamond dust, but it has a material cost. Can I just use the cost, or do I have to have diamond dust?
I mean, we have diamonds.
Perfect. Do we have a diamond we can spare?
Are you asking that
To Ellery, who keeps all of our books.
Ellery?
Yes.
Let me take a look at our thing. I mean, we have a few diamonds. How much do you need?
Just 100 gold, I think. Something like that. I shouldn't need too much. It's not like I'm bringing the dead back. I'm just trying to...
Yeah, we maybe want to hold on to the more expensive ones for that.
Yep.
And if it's the spell I'm thinking of, the spell consumes it.
Yes, it does.
Well, we have one that's worth about 300, and I have the one that's worth 500.
Let's take the 300 one then. Ball, can you make dust out of this?
I guess that's where Ball takes the diamond and just starts going to town on it. Just like, well, yeah, everyone's like calmly or like stressed in a circle, and Ball's in the background just like, whoa, whoa.
Think about it, he just like picks it up and bites it into dust and like, here you go.
I mean, Ellery does take a moment to appreciate this image.
Vesper's so stressed that she's calm, kind of. She's like on that level, so. Great, perfect, thank you. Yeah, just shaking like a chihuahua. And I will scoop dust into my hand, and I will cast Greater Restoration on Felix. That's my new spell that I got.
Does that work on my brain? I have some flavor things to throw in at the end of it if it does.
It does. Let's hear it.
I think there's a moment where Felix like looks at you confused as you like with diamond dust on your hand grab his face. He will sort of convulse for a moment, and you'll watch as Aeon kind of appears above his head, and he'll like shake, and you can kind of see Aeon taking on more of his physical characteristics. And when he opens up his eyes, his normally like amber brown eyes are now pink. Okay. Thank you, Vesper. I needed to be reconnected.
Are you okay?
I am now. Get Amsen inside. Or I'll get Amsen.
He's watching the sphere.
Find someone to hold it. We need to talk.
Just gonna wipe the diamond dust on Felix's shoulder.
So I'm gonna, like, even if Felix is sending the message out to Amsen, I'm gonna go ahead and pop out of the sphere. Group meeting. Let's find a safe place for this sphere.
Sure. And, I guess we'll look for a place to hide it somewhere.
There's, like, below deck, there's some crates, like storage goods being moved, that you might be able to tuck it in there. There's a few crew members and the captain.
Don't trust any of these people. Not a single one. Yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna say that we go below deck, probably. And maybe if we can find, like, if they're transporting, like, I don't know, fabrics or something like that, like, hide it, bury it underneath that pile of fabric or something like that. And yeah.
Okay.
Amsen, I don't know how seriously we should be taking it, but from Felix's tone, I think it's it's Harbinger business.
Okay.
He's I hope he's wrong. I think.
Well, we shall see.
I hope he's wrong.
We shall see. All right. Just take a breath first, and then we will go in, and we'll talk about this. All right. After you.
And I pop back in.
And I'll come in very shortly after.
Can you cast invisibility on an item?
No, I think it has to be a creature. Yeah, a creature.
Or like anything to that effect? Like, can you do like illusion?
I was looking for that too. I don't. Well, I have minor illusion. I could probably try to mask over it because it's a very small object. Can I do that?
I mean, it only lasts for a minute, so...
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It's fine.
Yeah,
you can leave it in the pouch, theoretically, if you just take your pouch off, and then it's just like a bag, as opposed to shiny magical ball.
Alright, sure, I'll do that.
Imagine leaving it in the pouch, going to the sphere, trying to take it out of the pouch while in the sphere, and destroying the universe that way.
Pouches don't function once you're inside it.
Suck it, prophecies.
Anyways, we're in the sphere now.
Yeah. Vesper has been tidying up the cards and everything for Felix's tantrum. She's cleaning because she is losing her mind.
All right. I probably would have waited until after this hopeless endeavor to keep you on task, but I just spoke with Walker, or a memory of his mind. And here's what I learned.
Okay.
And I will go over in exact detail what happened. No lies this time, because that broken part of Felix's mind is also cured. Right up until the, void creatures showed up and stabbed me. Vesper, you helped put it back together, but I do think she left a hole in my mind. Aeon has been able to fill the gap somewhat. I think he has taken on more of me, but I feel different. Good kind. Other than the fact that we now know. And I don't think it has anything to do with what we just did with Ball. I think you are always going to be.
So we don't know if we're crimson or silver.
He didn't seem to be able to know. It said it was very hard to tell. Maybe there will be ways and we can try and find out. I think Aeon showed me something that may help guard at least one of you from their influence. Maybe only a bit, but I can make one.
And this is, it's all of us. I mean, Calvin, Melly?
Maybe. It's all of you. Or some of you.
Really, they're fewer now. I guess it doesn't matter if there's only 4 of us.
There doesn't seem to be much we can do about the situation. The Harbingers are starting to be reborn, which means at some point it will come for you. But it sounded like you can defend yourself against their influence, at least until she comes. And then it will get harder.
So they're gonna try and take us over.
Yes.
And they're already inside us.
I don't know. They were able to come into Aeon's space. I don't know what that means.
But I mean, this whole thing about rebirth and memories, makes it sound like we already are them. It's just if our old memories unlock, then we become who we once were.
All I know is that some of them are already active, and they are not in bodies. They were essences. I think they will take over. I don't think it's there yet. I think you are just the vessels. The power of them and their mind seems to be separate. At least Walker had the idea that you could take on the power of a Harbinger before your mind is lost to them.
And the only way to kill them is to basically play into their hand and give them what they want and will want by destroying the Divine Gate.
Yes, and then in that moment, we would have to kill, theoretically, Narasine and probably Black Star.
So, I don't understand. Are they in us? Or are they coming for us?
I think their power is inside you, and it will awaken soon. And once you are ready, they will come for you.
This may be unrelated, Felix, but when you tried to help me with my memories, do you think there was something related? Do you think that's why you couldn't piece it together?
Maybe. But even if it's not, the person that could do that to you, they may know how to, I don't know, at least how the magic would work. Maybe they would have a better idea about the defenses.
Amsen Walker hasn't spoken to you, has he?
No, not yet anyways.
I could try and cast Sending to him, but I don't know if that's wise if he's in a moment where he's not in control.
Walker may be gone. What I was talking to was just recording a memory.
Alright, but the one we met, he said he would be in touch with us.
Could. There's also Tasha. And she wants us to fulfill the prophecy, which is to, I don't know, stop what's happening, the Divine Gate? I don't know. I don't know what her aim is, or how all of the pieces are fitting together yet, but...
So, don't become what they want you to become. That meant don't become the Harbingers, I assume?
Maybe.
So then what now? Do we just wait? Wait for another sign.
We accomplish what we came to do in this plane. We get Vesper's mother, we get back, and we find out from there what to do.
I hate to say it, but maybe Braun can help us.
Last time we trusted him, Ezekiel was lost.
I'm aware of that. If Avalmer killed a Titan, it's strong enough to kill Eternals the way an Essence weapon is. And Braun knows where there might be a few more, so maybe we should meet with him.
I look at Vesper. How much have you been speaking with Braun?
A bit, on our journey to the Giants.
And do you believe what he's saying?
Not everything. I don't trust him as far as I could throw him, but he's been... Go ahead, Paul.
Oh, Paul was just going to interrupt and say, would you willing to have us meet with him?
On this plane,
show him this weapon?
No, but he doesn't want the will to succeed entirely, because they want to kill Valasol, and that will incite a war among the gods, and that he does not want. But he has notes about where we could find more essence weapons, and maybe those can help us kill at least Narasine and Black Star, or possibly the Harbingers themselves. I don't know entirely, but it's a start.
Essence weapons. Like
yes.
The ones that they made before they were cut off.
Yes. Again, I don't trust Braun. He said a few things that I take as a show of good faith, but that are also worrying. He was banished, but if he kills us, he gets to go back. So that's something to be aware of. The fact that he said it, though.
I can see what I can do to at least pry answers from him if he's not being forthright.
In the meantime, while we look for Vesper's mother, do you think we can find who did this to me? Maybe they can help us.
I don't think they're on this plane, and if I had to hazard a guess, it's probably your mother.
So is that another mom we need to find?
We can look into it when we get back to the material plane. The temples in Nymanet may also have answers for us.
Vesper, do you know where Braun is staying?
He's under the city. He found the circle destroyed. He says he can leave the city, though he wanted to meet on Felnor, and I told him absolutely not. So we have to find a place on this plane for us to meet. But he knows possibly where some of these weapons were hidden. It's a start.
I feel like we're going to need those to fight and possibly kill any Crimson Harbingers when that time comes anyways.
And what if that's us?
Yeah.
I don't think it is. Something deep inside me tells me it's not. Just doesn't feel right.
I'm just going to say right now, if it turns out that I am, and if it takes me over, then you do what you need to do.
Same.
I don't think that's going to happen. I'd rather not think about that.
You should think about it.
I'll do what I have to. You all can trust on that at least.
And I think Ellery this is the kind of moment where she might, under other circumstances, make a snarky comment, but in this case, she just gives a nod. I don't want to turn into somebody who is trying to destroy the world.
Then we won't let that happen.
If I can't stay me, then there's only one other answer. But until that happens, I'm going to just focus on being as much me as I can be. Sorry, Felix.
It doesn't matter. Nothing matters right now. Except just getting whatever needs to be done. So if you have any preparations you need to make, whatever we have to do tomorrow, we do it fast.
Then, do we go back to Ball's people? Do we go to Andera to start making our way to Nymanet?
I don't know. If this works, should we take her to Nymanet or to Embershore?
I don't know.
We can last a night in Embershore. I won't have you distracted.
No, not more than a day. We have to hurry, but I feel like I should take her home. Talked to Varys, and he said, what happens, happens.
Well, I can take us to Embershore first, and then from there to Andera. Though, Felix, when we go to Andera, I don't know if they're still occupied. You might not be a welcome face, considering the war.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll figure it out.
That's for later, though. Right now we have to think about getting done what we need to do here.
As quickly as possible. I think we bring her back to the sphere. It's a safe way to get her out, wherever she may be. We find somewhere to cast the circle, and we go. Ball, is this alright with you? It means we wouldn't be going back to the Giants.
I think I've already done what I was set out to do. Gods move slowly. We can wait.
So, we have a little bit of time before the ship reaches Smo. Felix, I don't suppose you can help Amsen and I cover up a bit more so we won't be as noticeable walking around the city?
I have illusions if you need them. I can get working on transmutations if that's better.
That
Might be better.
might be. The impression I got was, so Vesper should be okay walking around. Ball, I think.
Side note, did we get those bracers?
Yeah, that's...
Because I would have imagined we would have gotten those bracers.
10 gold each. Yes,
And
3.
we'll do.
Yes, 3,
Great.
okay.
Perfect, okay.
And they are made to look like lockable manacles, but they're not actually lockable. Like ornate manacles of brass.
I just want to check, how long does it take to get out of the sphere? It takes a minute to get in, and then to get out is it instant, or is it also a minute?
An action, I thought?
Yes, an action.
So then Ball's going to say,
Maybe the less people we need to camouflage or hide, the better. We have most of us in the sphere,
And
so it draws less attention.
I'm okay for now, but it's not going to be too much longer before I'm going to start feeling this heat more. I think. How long has it been now?
Since you arrived on the plane, it's getting close to 24 hours. Actually, it's getting close to 48, actually. Right, 30 or so.
Okay. And how much time is left on our trip?
Not long. As soon as y'all wrap up, I was gonna wrap up.
Okay. I still have a little bit more time that I can hold out. Amsen, how are you doing?
I think I'm pretty good for now. I might have a day left or so, something like that.
Two of you are the best at bullshitting our way through situations, so I feel like having you two out would be smart.
Yeah. In which case, we need to be as inconspicuous as possible. So what I meant, Felix, was helping us, cover our faces a bit more. But if you can...
Here's the thing. If this theoretical conversation is happening early in the boat ride, then, and I have the 16 hours, I can make 1 alter self and 1 protection from energy. And that covers me for 16 hours, and that way, if someone loses it, they at least can get an hour, and I'll keep the spell prepared if we need to get Amsen as well. But I can't concentrate on it twice.
Then you move fast.
We meet this friend, this contact that Raj is setting us up to see. We get the information that we need, and I look at Vesper. We get your mom out of here.
Yes. Take her back. I want to get to the Abbey first. I know that's thinking ahead, but I want to go talk to Varys about this first. Let them introduce themselves, and then take her home to Lysander. If the timing's right. We'll see if it's too late when we get there. But I promise Felix we won't stay for more than a day. We don't have that kind of time.
You know the gravity of your situation now.
Mm-hmm.
I will follow along. I know I can't convince you to do anything, but you know what's at stake. Vesper, I think I have to deactivate the dagger for a little while, but hopefully I can buy some defense for one of you.
That's smart. I'll hand the dagger back to him.
Okay. And as the ship ride continues on, being pulled by these seahorses, no sail, you begin to see land in the distance. Those of you above deck, you see a city in a bay. The land rises up away from this burning sea. This massive city of towers, domed at the top, stained glass balconies, bridges connecting the various towers. You see Moorish arches and domes of gold. You see sapphires and rubies glowing on the tops of these. As you come closer, you see the outer walls are bolted on with plaques of brass embossed, ornate. You see genasi, fire genasi, moving along the docks and the streets. You see a large elephant-like creature with ram horns and tusk and dark hooves dragging a massive wagon behind and being ridden by a large creature, which you presume to be the Ifrit, probably about ball size. You see the city starting to come into view. You're still in the outskirts of the bay itself. There's a strange feeling, like wind brushing through your hair. It's a sensation of mint, cold, black dust. The captain and the crew don't seem to notice it, as they're just looking into the city, but to the right, this cold wind howls, and dark dust begins to form. Ground, trees, dead with white leaves of oak, and gray bark, black night. You hear the heavy footfalls as something steps from the vision to your right. Heavy paws, large gray wings, a mask of black. You see wounds over the creature's chest, but it walks forward and sits upon the visionary ground, looking upon you. The time is nigh. Call my name, and I will take you to Talja. Dietos. There's a loud doom from behind this vision, above in the sky, as the black dust and cold and trees and the Sphinx, the images that burst, scattered. The crew still doesn't react to the vision, but they do to the sound. Tingling on the back of your neck, heightens. You can feel it, squeezing, gripping, turning your gaze towards the sky as if not under your full control. There's a force of wind that rushes out. The crew does react to this. They see this shock wave almost form, brushing the flaming sea aside like wheat fields. And in the sky you see this streak. It's small, but there, like a glinting star burning out. This colorless streak in the sky. Some of the crew are pointing up at it, talking amongst themselves. As you see the colorless field spread, leaking out. And you feel it. And you feel it being released, draining slowly. And that's what we'll pick up next week. And this is where the choice comes in.
Fuck you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Back to the Story. For notifications when an episode goes live, you can find us on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you prefer to get your podcasts. Download the app of your choice and subscribe or favorite us there. We also have a YouTube channel called Back to the Story, an actual play podcast. If you'd like to contact us, you can tweet us at back2_the_story. If you can't fit it into 280 characters, you can always email us at thebonfirefables@gmail.com. And if you'd like further information about the campaign, the player characters, NPCs, or behind-the-scenes sneak peeks, follow us on either Twitter or on our Tumblr, back-to-the-story.tumblr.com. Lastly, if you'd like to support the show, feel free to buy us a coffee at ko-fi.com/backtothestory. We'll see you next time in Norithil.